But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines, and that they're defective devices. Okay? I have lawyers worked on this for 5 months. Okay?
Everybody comes in your grandmother. 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 Father comes in your grandmother. Father, your mother, your brother. They're coming all over the place. 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 They're coming all over the place.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
Seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Joe Brandon, I agree.
is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Hello, users, and welcome to another show. This is a news show. This is the Above It All show. And it's a new show. So welcome. I'm doing a program today. This is 1695 of the shows. I've done 1695. I just ate something for breakfast that was relatively spicy, so my lips might appear a little puffy. I don't know. I was eating some spicy food, and so that was what and now I'm doing a show. So this is the September 27th program. The September 27th program for the show. I'm doing September 27th. And it's the 1695th episode of the show. That's a lot of episodes of this show. And that's a lot. I mean, I've it's a lot. Of course, I started doing the live streamed episodes on episode 980. So, minus 980, and you've got that many live stream shows. I've been doing this for a while now, and what do I have to show for it? Anyway, so we're doing a show. I'm doing a program today. I've got some news that I'm going to get into, and so we're going to be doing some of the news that I'm getting into the news today. Some fun stuff, some not so fun stuff. So that's great. The show. Also, once again, thank you, Courtney. Courtney was sending me nice things yesterday, so thank you, Courtney. And hello. Also, we got a show going on today. I'm doing a show. I got a text message. Who the fuck is texting me at a time like this? Oh, this motherfucker's texting me at fucking midnight. Some goddamn asshole cocksucker texting me at midnight. And I have a text message. I'm not gonna read it though. So I've got but I know it's there. but I'm not going to read it. So I got a show lined up for today. I would like to say this. Today is Tuesday. I'm willing to say that I'm hoping that I can get the Cooking with the Bitch episode out tomorrow. To be honest, I have filmed a lot of them. I just haven't been editing them. Editing is a lot more boring than filming. And, I'm running into hard drive space issues. So it's it's a whole thing. And, I've not, the last week of my life, not, it's okay, I'm not, but I haven't been editing any of the episodes. Yeah. So I'm going to try to sit down and edit them for tomorrow. So my apologies on that. But on Friday, on twitch.television, on Friday, I don't know what the time is yet. I have many external hard drives, Letterhack. Trust me. I need to get more. But anyway, on Friday, I will be launching the video game portion of the Spook Sixular on Friday on twitch.television. So if anyone wants to talk about horror movies and video games or just whatever, I'm going to be doing, I got some decorations that are going to be visible as well. So we're going to get into that this Friday. I don't know what time. I don't want to, maybe I'll figure out what time it is tomorrow. I'll let you know. And I'm not going to tell you what game I'm going to start with either. So on Friday, you'll find out which game it is that I'm going to start with. But there will be a stream on Friday evening, and I will be playing a horror game in its entirety, all the way through in one night. So, you can guess based on that information which game it might be. And so, there you go. In other news, Max! The dog on the couch. He is sleeping up a storm. I don't know if I should share this story, but Max the dog this morning, inflicted maximum damage to me. As per his name, he inflicted maximum damage on me. In the morning, Max the dog likes to pup it up in the morning. And sometimes, I'm sleeping, I'm in bed, and Max the dog will jump onto the bed, also known as pupping it up, and he will jump on me on the bed. I'm on the bed, he's on the floor. He jumps onto the bed. I'm on the bed, so he lands on me. And oftentimes I wake up with him licking my face, right? So this is a very frequent occasion. He's happy to see me. I've been comatose for what to him feels like years, and so I'm alive once again. And this morning, Max the dog, he has claws, he has talons, he has nails, whatever you want to call them. Max the dog, when walking on me, when walking on my body, while I was barely alive, sometimes dogs will walk by dragging their foot off of the ground and then digging their nails in. You know what I'm talking about? So their nails, I have nails too, which is very convenient for this. So the nails go down and they scrape. So anyway, Max the dog, now when Max the dog inflicted damage on me, and needless to say, I'm not sure if I was going to recover, but I did recover. But it's still in a little bit of pain. Max the dog slashed on a very sensitive region on my chest, and it's still in a little bit of pain, but not as much as it was for the 15 minutes afterward. And so just thought I'd share that story. I'm in pain. So anyway, that's Max, and now he's sleeping. Now he's sleeping on the job. Look at this, Max. Come on, Max. What the hell? He is sleeping on the job, this fucking dog. So anyway, I'm in pain, and there are panes of glass on my windows. In fact, the windows are made of panes of glass, and glass reminds me of the M. Night Shyamalan movie, which, you know, has people in it that are actors. And, you know, when I think of actors, you know, I often think of, you know, I don't know what I'm doing here. So anyway, start the show. Let's drink some coffee. All right. So, the White House, folks, the White House, it's a house. I don't know if you've heard of it, and it's white, and it's the White House. So this is from NPR. So let's check this out. Why the White House wants to put nutrition labels on the front of food packages. So, I guess this is food in here, I guess. But there you go. Joe Biden is going to like some food and nutrition summit. Now again, I talk about on my show food all the time. And so on this show, you know, I talk about food. I talk about the American diet. Once again, 93% of Americans have a form of metabolic dysfunction. Their metabolism doesn't work. And, you know, a lot of people don't even know what a metabolism is. They think, oh, I've got a slow metabolism, as if that's like a genetic thing. No, it's actually almost very little to do with your genetics. Obviously, genes have predispositions for everything, but your metabolism is slow because you don't know how to feed yourself. You're a child. You never grew out of the age of 7. And you can't cook, and you're buying processed garbage all the time, so that's why your metabolism is slow. But once again, metabolic dysfunction leads to pre-diabetes, as well as other long-time, in some areas, lifetime chronic diseases. So 95% of Americans, folks, don't take my word for it. Look it up. Use the internet. 95% of Americans don't eat fiber. They don't eat fiber. What is fiber? Fiber is one of the most important parts of food. Insoluble fiber helps feed your gut's microbiome of bacteria. Soluble fiber also helps, feed your gut's microbiome. It also helps you absorb the nutrients in the food that you're eating more effectively, because if you don't have fiber in your system, your microbiome will be feeding on the food that you ate, and therefore if you're eating 10 pounds or whatever, 10 grams of protein and no fiber, that microbiome is going to feast, and you might only get like a couple grams of protein out of it, depending on how far along you are in. So 95% of Americans, they don't eat vegetables, they don't eat fruit, they're just fucking stupid motherfuckers. Now they'll have fruit juice, right? That's great. I love fruit juice. I'll have lettuce on a cheeseburger, right? I mean, classic. But Americans, the diet of the average American is so horrible. It is so horrible that diseases that used to only be associated with like royalty are now commonplace in America. So how does that happen? Well, I mean, we could talk about Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon in the late 60s, early 70s, instituted massive sweeping food programs in this country, but not good food programs. Richard Nixon, a lot of people claim, and they may say this, that Richard Nixon was racist. There's extremely copious amounts of examples that provide that to be a true statement. And so Richard Nixon created a food program in this country because he thought if he didn't feed Americans properly, that a bunch of black people were going to destroy the country. And you can look in Richard Nixon's internal memos. He would often say, the blacks are going to destroy us all if we don't figure out this food insecurity stuff. So anyway, what happened in the 1970s was Richard Nixon spearheaded programs to basically mass manufacture corn in this country. That's why corn is in everything. We have high fructose corn syrup and everything. And so every food is infused with corn in some way for the most part. And high fructose corn syrup, it's in barbecue sauce, it's in ketchup, it's in salad dressing. If you buy salad dressing at the store, salad dressing, I know, you're eating a salad, right? Okay, you want to be healthy. If you buy store-bought salad dressing, guess what? High fructose corn syrup, you're getting sugar out the wham-wham. So, again, there's high fructose corn syrup and everything. corn-fed meats are significantly less healthy than alternatives, to the point where it's essentially just poison. I mean, meat in this country it's at the grocery store. If you're going to any grocery store, chances of you being able to buy meat that's not poisoned is pretty much 0%. So again, why do I say all this? Well, because our country is fucked up. We learned in the last 50 years that now we live in a country where 95% of Americans, they don't eat fruit, they don't eat vegetables, they're fucking stupid, they don't know how to cook, they don't know how to do any of this shit. And so it's again, think about it, a pandemic, right? Let's just metabolic dysfunction, metabolic syndrome leads to inflammation, which reduces the effectiveness of your immune system, because your immune system, what is inflammation? Well, inflammation is your immune system, fighting some stupid garbage that it shouldn't because of your bad diet. So if your immune system is too busy fighting stupid garbage and fighting itself, when a virus enters your system, it's going to wreak havoc. So now we're in a situation where, again, 82% of kids in this country under 18 have had coronavirus at least one time. I'm sure their diet's not that great. And long COVID is around 30 to 40% of people that develop COVID. And so, again, we're pretty much fucked. And it's, needless to say, it's not in the good dick way. So what is Joe Biden going to do about this? I know it's a long preamble. What is Joe Biden going to do about this? So I've noticed that Joe Biden has said, he's teased that this kind of stuff is going to be on the what is it, on the pike? Is that the phrase? On the pike? I don't know. But it's coming. And so we have some more information here. The Biden administration is proposing that nutrition labels go on the front of food packages rather on the back. That'll get them. It's part of a strategy to end hunger and diet-related diseases in America in 8 years. Some 40 pages of ideas to try to make the nation healthier. The White House unveiled the plan ahead of a conference on hunger, nutrition, health being held in Washington on Wednesday, the first of its kind since 1969. Now, once again, who was president in 1969? When a similar effort sparked programs like food stamps. The strategy includes expanding nutrition assistance programs and launching more programs to cover medically tailored meals. But it's unclear how quickly most of the ideas could become reality, since many recommendations hinge on support from a divided Congress and changes to regulations. So Congress, Republicans are never going to do this. They're never going to do this. Advocates say following through on the plan could take years, unlike the '69 conference when most of the new programs were implemented within 2 years. The White House wants to expand food programs like school lunches. The administration wants to expand existing food security programs to more people. This includes ideas like expanding school meals to all students, making it easier for more kids to get food during the summer months when school is out, allowing people who were formerly incarcerated or in college to receive food stamps. Now, I didn't even know that was a thing until recently. But yeah, if you're a felon, it makes it way more difficult to get government assistance programs. But school meals. Now, I just want to say this one. I've been to school. I dropped out when I was 16, but I did go there for a considerable portion of my life. And when I was in school, there were school lunches. You had to pay for them. I never did. I would just, if I don't want to go into my whole scholastic career, but, I've been to school. I've seen the school lunches. You got pizza, mac and cheese, hot dogs, right? There's a vending machine right in the lunchroom. You gobble down 3 Mountain Dews, right? So if that is what we're talking about when it comes to free school lunches, this is only going to make the problem worse. Now, I'm saying I'd rather them have food than no food, right? But, I'm skeptical whether or not a lot of these school lunches are even referred to as food. Like, really, what is food? When you think about it, I want to provide everyone a little bit of a thought experiment. When you think of the word food, what do you think of? Is alcohol food? You put it in your body, right? Is that food? Not really. Is coffee food? Not really. What is food, right? Food, theoretically, something that provides energy and nutrition to your body to, keep your organs in shape, to make sure your body is functioning, right? So in the same way that alcohol isn't food, right? I don't know, man, those frozen rectangle pizzas and the hot dogs, that's not food either. What is the nutritional value of that shit? I'm just asking. There is none. What is the nutritional value of mac and cheese? Really, let's be honest. There is none. There is no nutritional value. Now, again, I'm not saying no one should be allowed to have mac and cheese. I'm not saying no one should be allowed to have pizza, right? It's all about moderation, right? But when you're eating pizza and hot dogs every day at school lunch, that's going to fuck you up. Not to mention the chemical addiction that's going to develop in your brain. You're going to be addicted to this poisonous substance. Again, sugar has been found to be more addictive than caffeine, more addictive than cigarettes. When people quit smoking, what do they often pick up? A sugar addiction. Sugar has been found to be more addictive than alcohol. And also, sugar is found to be especially more addictive in kids, and it develops long-term food addiction. So again, school lunch programs, great. But, we got to work on what this is. So if I feed a 12-year-old a beer, right? Oh, I'm going to go to jail. That's, I'm poisoning a child, right? And I agree. You shouldn't give 12-year-olds beer. But on the same vein, you shouldn't give 12-year-olds ice cream every day. You shouldn't give 12-year-olds Mountain Dew every day. I'm just saying, what's Mountain Dew got in it? Caffeine. Usually around 60 or 70 milligrams of caffeine per can of Mountain Dew. How many grams of sugar are in a Mountain Dew can? Last time I checked, it's about 50 or 60 grams of sugar, mostly in the form of high fructose corn syrup. Now, again, I've been to school. I'm 26 years old, so I dropped out about 10 years ago. And but before that, I would see people drink 2-3 sodas a day at school lunch, right? That is almost 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, right? That's like well over 150 grams of sugar, mostly in the form of high fructose corn syrup, and that's every day, 5 days a week. So, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of throwing this stuff out there. I like to talk about food, but again, Joe Biden is, he's actually trying to tackle something, and, as long as we're moving the ball forward, really, I think that that's a good thing. But let's keep going. These ideas would require legislation to pass Congress. Once again, that will never happen. There are some things the administration can do on its own. In the coming weeks, the Agriculture and Defense Departments will use pandemic relief funding to expand online shopping for food in more states and with more retailers under the Women, Infants, and Children WIC food stamp programs. Food stamps is usually referred to as SNAP nowadays. And for the first time, a nutritionist will be hired to support the Bureau of Indian Affairs and Bureau of Indian Education to help create indigenous food hubs at schools and detention centers. Do they really, are the official names of this shit really still Indian? That's hilarious. The administration is keen on treating food as medicine. Now, this is an interesting concept. Let's see. The White House is buying into the idea of using food as medicine. It wants Congress to pass legislation for pilot programs that would cover medically tailored meals for people who are on Medicare and to expand access to nutrition and obesity counseling for people on Medicare and Medicaid. Great. So you need to have health insurance? Hey, it's a step in the right direction, right? The administration also wants to encourage private health insurance companies to cover medically tailored meals and more nutritional services. Okay. The White House says it's time to update food labels. The White House says it wants the FDA to conduct research and propose new rules for nutrition labels to go on the front of food packages. The system should quickly and easily communicate nutrition information, such as star ratings. I don't know, man. I don't know about star ratings, right? These private companies and corporations, they're really... I don't know about star ratings, right? We're going to be seeing some fucked up shit if you've got like a 5-star fucking pack of fucking... I don't even know what the fuck. Traffic light schemes, okay, to promote equitable access to nutrition information and healthier choices. So you have to make it so dumbed down that a 3-year-old can understand. How about we just educate the masses on nutrition in general instead of using stars and traffic lights on your food packaging? I don't know. To promote healthier choices and can also prompt industry to reformulate their products to be healthier. Yeah, I'm just letting you know that. That's not happening. A star rating is not going to change. That's not happening. Okay. It also wants to propose an update to guidelines for companies who use the word healthy on food labels. I was at the grocery store the other day. There's a brand of frozen television dinners. It's called Healthy Choice. Healthy Choice. I was, I go to the grocery store. I like to look at the stuff, see what the aliens eat. In this Healthy Choice television dinner, there were 14 grams of added sugar. There was 1 gram of soluble fiber. Only 1. Now, again, the daily recommended minimum is 25. There was, I think, 12 grams of protein, mostly in the form of short-chain amino acid. And it's called Healthy Choice. One of the top ingredients is high fructose corn syrup. It's called Healthy Choice. You ever look at a lean pocket? Yeah, lean pocket. I gotta stay lean. I can't have the hot pockets anymore. Oh, no. I gotta stay lean. Spring break's coming up. I gotta go on a diet. Gotta get some lean pockets. Again, gigantic amounts. High fructose corn syrup, all in that shit. And yet they call it healthy food. They call it healthy. I mean, the brand on the other one is literally called Healthy Choice. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck. But, I don't know, man. It's crazy. So anyway, we live in a fucked up country. I'm going to be honest. I'm glad that the Biden administration is trying to move the ball forward. Congress is never going to approve this. Private companies? You think you're going to trust that private companies are going to stop putting drugs in the food? Why would they do that? Why would a drug dealer stop giving their paying customers addictive drugs? They want money. They're going to put drugs in the food, and they're going to addict you to sugar, chemicals, other things, so that you go back and buy more food. Why would a private corporation, from the goodness of their heart, look at look at the star rating? You know what they're going to do? They're going to buy out some food industry studies to be done that says, actually, this is 5 stars. So, I'm just letting you know. But anyway, I'm glad that this is in the news. This is a conversation that needs to be happening. And so hopefully I've provided some information for y'all on the subject. But again, just a quick one. Chlorine in the chicken. Any chicken product you eat in the United States has probably been chlorinated. You might be thinking, what? I know, right? It's banned everywhere else in the world. We're talking about pork processing plants under the Trump administration in 2019 and 2020 completely slashed their food safety programs. What they do is they have conveyor belts, right? And so what they'll do is they'll have people on the conveyor belts, and they'll pick out the rat feces, the cockroach corpses, the dead ferrets, right? All the shit, they pick out the shit, right? And so the Trump administration in 2020 and 2019, what they did is they basically sped up the conveyor belt and reduced the amount of people that are there to pick it up. So oftentimes when you buy pork products, they've been sitting around in rat shit. So that's really cool. Beef. Let's talk about beef. Beef is often, animals are tortured, right? They are often, fed, again, corn, high fructose corn syrup sometimes, but usually just corn, and other sorts of really low nutrition grains that are subsidized by the U.S. government. And so it results in them developing diseases, tumors, cancers, etc. So a lot of the meat, especially when you eat ground beef, you don't know what the fuck's in there. You don't know what's in ground beef. You don't know what's in a hot dog. You have no idea. Chances are there's rat shit in there. Chances are there's tumors and cancer. Now, again, we know that all of these big pandemics that we've been seeing, they originate from meat, from poorly processed, poorly made meat. People sell meat at markets, and then, it gets hot in the sun, and people eat the meat. It's been poisoned, something. Then, there you go. A disease is born. So I'm just saying, right? When you live in the United States, it's a minefield. It's a minefield. Going to the grocery store, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, think about it the movie They Live. You got the glasses on. Hold up. Where are my sunglasses? I got a collection here. So think of it, we're in They Live, right? And you go to the grocery store, right? And you put the glasses on, right? It's all drugs. It's all drugs. You're going to see the giant sign, drugs, poison, drugs. Right? You take the glasses off. Oh, it's salad dressing. Drugs. Holy shit. Again, they put high fructose corn syrup in salad dressing. You got to make your own salad dressing. So anyway, stick to the outer areas of the grocery store. Try to avoid most of the aisles. Really, the only aisle that I typically will go to is the canned aisle. Canned food, typically it's okay. Is it as good as fresh? No, but it's significantly cheaper. And so, if you're on a budget, that's always good. But anyway, there you go. Just wanted to do an extended segment on food because I know you're not getting that shit anywhere else. I know that, yeah. All you motherfuckers are like, oh, I'm going to watch Majority Report after that. They're just going to talk about Tucker Carlson again for another hour. No, we got to talk about healthy fucking food here because I know you're not getting that shit in your media diet anywhere else. So, there you go. Goddamn They Live. What a good movie. I love that story. Which story? There's a lot of stories that I just threw out there. But anyway, so doing a new show today. I'm getting I want to say this. I just remembered this, but this Friday I will be doing a spooky stream. A horror stream on twitch.tv, the first video game component of the Spook 60 But Friday is also the day that I get my booster shot. And I'm planning on getting my flu shot at the same time. So I'm just throwing this out there. There's a good chance I'm going to be fucked up. And, it may or may not be in the good dick way on Friday. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm going to get a double dose Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. I'm doing the show. It might not be, this weekend the shows might be low energy. They might be, I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just throwing that out there. But again, this Friday I will be doing a spooky stream on the twitch.tv. So anyway, let's move on. It's more important news. So I saw this pop up, and there's lots of geopolitical implications here, but unprecedented mystery leaks detected in Nord Stream gas pipelines from Russia to Europe. The Danish Prime Minister said Tuesday that she cannot rule out sabotage after 3 leaks were detected on Russian natural gas pipelines running under the Baltic Sea to Europe. Premier Mette Frederiksen spoke after simultaneous problems were reported with the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines that were not bringing gas to Germany amid an energy standoff caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but were still filled with fuel. So, again, I just want to talk, war is dumb, right? The quote-unquote adults in the room are all fucking 3-year-olds that have mental disorders. Let's be honest. Vladimir Putin, a whiny little toddler, right? Pretty much any world leader. I can't think of a good world leader at the top of my hand. Right now, think about it. Good world leader, anywhere in the country, go. Or get anywhere in the world, go. All right, now, you might have thought of someone maybe in South America. Well, guess what? They've got no geopolitical power, right? So any world leaders in Europe, Asia, the U.S., North America that have an IQ above 6? Think about it. Think about it. Right, so again, we have a bunch of toddlers fighting each other. And that's pretty much what's going on here. And I'd like to remind you all, Lula is not president. Bolsonaro is president. So, but anyway, so now we have the toddlers. They're like, okay, well, we're yelling at each other. Daddy won't pick who the winner of the sandbox is. And so now let's fill up the ocean with gas. Let's fill up the Baltic Sea with oil. Yeah. Anything goes in war. Yeah. Now, who knows if it's sabotage? I don't really care about that. That's not whoa, they sabotage. Okay, and? I don't know, man. The idea that we're destroying the planet. Vladimir Putin's threatening nuclear bombs. You know what that's going to do to the fucking planet? Right? So, Jesus. Officials said the leaks did not pose any threat to energy supplies, and experts said the environmental impact would be limited. Limited? Oh, well, that's great. It's limited. Wow. I'm glad that the environmental impact is limited. Now, again, I talk about on this show about a vague language. Vague language. What the fuck is the environmental impact would be limited? And these officials, are these the officials that said coal and oil are allowed under the green energy programs in the European Union? Are those the same officials that are saying now that the environmental impact is going to be limited? What is it limited to? What's going to happen? What are the limitations? We don't know. Danish authorities announced Monday that a leak was detected in the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which has never been used. They were later informed of a major pressure drop on Nord Stream 1, which until recently has been a key source of gas to Germany. The Swedish Maritime Administration said Tuesday that 2 leaks were discovered in the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, which partly runs in Swedish waters. Danish authorities also have confirmed the leaks, and Russian operator of the pipeline also said sabotage could not be ruled out, calling the leaks unprecedented. The Danish Maritime Authority issued a navigation warning and established a prohibited area with the aim of ensuring that ships do not sail near the leaks. I wonder why. They don't want to get oil on the boats, maybe? I don't know. Ships may lose buoyancy if they sail into the area, and there may also be a risk of ignition above the water and in the air. But it's limited. The environmental impact is limited. The air above the water might spontaneously combust. That's possible, but the environmental impact is limited. All right. The leaks in pipelines were detected northeast and southeast of the Danish island of Bornholm. The pipelines have been at the center of an energy war between Europe and Russia since the invasion of Ukraine in late February. A drop in Russian gas supplies has caused energy prices to soar, causing pain for many across Europe, creating fears about the coming winter, and putting pressure on governments to help ease the pain of sky-high bills on their citizens. So you could read the rest of this if you'd like. Yeah, the sky might just, combust into flames, but everything's good, don't worry. The adults are in the room, and they're cleaning things up, because they're adults, and they're totally not 6-year-olds with, schizophrenia, psychosis, and other sorts of mental health issues. That's totally not the case. They're adults, and they're in the room, and I'm sure everything is going to be fine, because it's a very limited oil spill. But anyway, so there's some news for you. Anyway, I'm doing a show today. Yesterday there was some breaking news. Some very breaking news. News that honestly is going to affect pretty much just our future as humans on this planet. Jeremy Corbyn, the former Labour leader before he was very, unceremoniously ousted as Labour leader and replaced with a TERF, was spotted. Now, you might be thinking, what is he doing next? Was he spotted at like one of those kill the Jewish people rallies from Borat? Because he's an anti-Semite, right? Of course. Where was he spotted? No, it's even worse than that. It's even worse. So Jeremy Corbyn was caught playing, for whatever reason, there exists an arcade cabinet of the Thatcher's tech base, Doom 2 WAD, where the final boss is Margaret Thatcher. And, needless to say, this is not acceptable behavior, because Margaret Thatcher was, of course, the greatest hero who ever lived in any country ever, and she's amazing, and we all love her. So, let's read. Jeremy Corbyn has been slammed by the Tories for playing an arcade game where the aim is to kill Margaret Thatcher. So again, I don't know who invented this arcade cabinet version of a Doom game. That's That to me, I'm more interested in that. Why the fuck is there an arcade cabinet? How are you playing Doom on a fucking goddamn joystick? Like, come on now. Anyway, the former labor leader was snapped enjoying Thatcher's tech base today at a radical left-wing festival, The World Transformed. So, here's the snap. As you can see, this is the title screen for the Doom mod. Maybe I'll do a speed run of it. People have been requesting this for a while. Maybe I should do a speed run. The festival is timed to coincide with the Labour Party's conference in Liverpool and features guest speakers who hate the monarchy and advocate for communism. That sounds like a good fucking festival. Slamming Mr. Corbyn, Tory MP Matt Vickers told The Sun, regardless of your views on any politician or public figure, glorifying violence against anyone is completely inappropriate and totally irresponsible. First of all, like, we got to be very clear. Margaret Thatcher is dead. Margaret Thatcher is dead. How can we glorify violence against someone that died like a decade or 2 decades ago? When did she fucking die? I don't know. How is that possible? How can you glorify violence against a dead person? Why do you think she's in the Doom mod? She's a demon. She's in hell. How did she get to hell? She fucking died, bro. This is particularly true via the profile that Mr. Corbyn has. Thatcher's tech base is based on the popular FPS shooter Doom 2. Gamers play the Doom Guy, a man who travels through the circles of hell blowing up demons. In the World Transformed version, Mrs. Thatcher is the demon. The poster for the offensive game features a cybertronic demonic Maggie with devil horns coming out of her head and a gun for an arm. A description of it reads, warning, subject M4GG-13, Baroness Margaret Thatcher is attempting to escape hell and return to the mortal plane. So, once again, not good. I don't know. Not good. We definitely do not want Margaret Thatcher to return to the mortal plane. And so, this is some very serious news here. So, and it also we can glorify violence against a dead person? Like, what? What? What does that mean? How do you glorify violence against a dead person? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so there you go. That's Jeremy Corbyn being as based as ever. So there you go. In other gaming news, Twitch.television, the website that everyone knows and loves, has a new streamer on the block. A new streamer on Twitch.television. And you may be familiar with them. You may not be familiar with them. Let's find out. So, Matt Gaetz did a stream and only got 6 viewers on his first Twitch stream. The congressman's chat was filled with vulgar ASCII images left by detractors. So he had 6 viewers, and they all were trolls. All right, well, Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz announced last week that he would be throwing his hat into the online streaming ring and starting his own Twitch channel. So far, his peak viewership has been 6. Growing a community on Twitch is not easy. According to data from Sully Gnome and Twitch Tracker, the top 1% of Twitch streamers have an average of... The top 1% of Twitch streamers have an average of approximately 20 viewers. Yo, I'm in the top 1%! Fuck yeah, I'm in the top 1. Alright, everybody. As a 1%er, I'd like to say this. Matt Gaetz, you shall not pass, motherfucker. The pores, get them the fuck out of here, okay? I better get a tax cut for this shit, man. Holy shit, I'm in the top 1%. The users pulling in tens of thousands of viewers each stream are the platform's top 0.1% and account for around 74% of the total watch time on the platform. That's crazy. That's crazy. That being said, Mr. Gates has an inherent advantage over a 16-year-old hoping to stream their Dungeons and Dragons campaign or their latest video game speedrun. Yo, what the fuck? What the fuck is this article? Why are you harassing my people? He's a congressman. Theoretically, he has a baked-in audience. Mr. Gates has 1.7 million followers on Twitter, but it appears that very few, at least at this point, have followed him onto Twitch. He has about 1,600 followers on the platform, but anyone can follow an account. Subscriptions and viewers are what counts toward monetization on Twitch. Those who have followed him to the streaming site don't appear to be fans. Vice News reports that after his inaugural live stream on Thursday, a 30-minute chat touching on the Capitol riot, right-wing conspiracy theory subject Ray Epps, and wokeism in schools with former Trump speechwriter Darren Beatty, Mr. Gates left his chat running while he was offline. What does that mean, left his chat running? Anyone can type in a chat when it's offline. Anyway. This is common for Twitch streamers. Many will allow their chats to stay active when they're not streaming. Is that it? Can you disable that? I don't even think that that's even possible to disable. Like, I'm not sure. Maybe they added that as a feature in the last couple of years, but why would you? I don't know. Anyway. And some continue to participate with their communities offline. However, Mr. Gates' viewers took the opportunity to slam him and leave vulgar ASCII images in the chat, including many depicting male genitals. Can't have that. Some chat users also brought up the sex trafficking investigation that focused on Mr. Gates, which prosecutors have since reportedly declined to pursue, calling him a pedo. In the chat, The Independent has reached out to Mr. Gates for comment. Based on the symbols used by the chatters, it appears most of the people mocking Mr. Gates appear to be fans of leftist Twitch streamer Hassan Piker. Mr. Piker is one of the site's most popular streamers and noted Mr. Gates' addition to the platform on Twitter. Quote, "This is certainly what we needed on the platform," Mr. Piker wrote sarcastically. Mr. Gates' account retweeted the post with the message, "I agree. Thanks for tuning in. Hassan the Hun. Don't forget to subscribe." Mr. Piker took the opportunity to change his Twitter name to Gates Pedo FBI Investigation, ensuring that viewers on Mr. Gates' Twitter page would see the name if they saw. I love how people write about this. I love when boomers write about like online like Zoomer antics. And so there you go. We're already on to you, though. Child predators use Twitch to systematically track kids. Anyway, so there you go. Mr. Gates, well, not doing so well on that one. Needs to up his promo game for sure. But in this article, I have learned that getting 25 to 35 viewers on Twitch, which is my average, it puts me in the top 1%. So, I'd like to say that, you know, it's great to be at the top. And it's great to see you all. So, you know, and I can't, you know, I'm looking down from my ivory tower. Oh, you know, you're like ants, you know. It's great to see you. I'm going to go get my binoculars so that I can see your faces a little bit more clearly. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, that's right, Rielon. Yeah, that's right. Oh. If they were millennials, I would be able to understand them, home. Unless I'm even more of a boomer than I thought. Another politician news. Texas Attorney General denies that he ran to avoid subpoenas. Says he felt threatened. Huh. Let's find out more about this. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton quote, ran from his home and took off in a truck with his wife, a state senator, when a process server showed up to the residence Monday morning to serve Paxton with a subpoena in an ongoing lawsuit, according to an affidavit filed later that day. This coffee is giving me a little reflux. The subpoena for Paxton's testimonies are part of a lawsuit filed in August by reproductive health groups looking to protect their ability to help patients access legal abortions in states outside of Texas, where performing nearly all abortions became illegal following the Supreme Court's... I mean, that's not true. They did that bounty law, which essentially illegalized all abortions, and that was last year. So I'm just throwing that out there, a little bit of misinformation in the Washington Post. On Monday evening, Paxton addressed the process server's claims, writing on Twitter that earlier in the day he had been avoiding a stranger lingering outside my home and was concerned for his and his family's safety. Oh, there's a stranger lingering. What the fuck does that mean? This is a ridiculous waste of time, and the media should be ashamed of themselves, Paxton wrote in response to the Texas Tribune, which earlier reported the story. Quote, all across the country, conservatives have faced threats to their safety. Many threats that received scant coverage or condemnation from the mainstream media. You know, threats. Sounds like, the people calling in bomb threats to children's hospitals. But, Ken Paxton doesn't call in bomb threats, at least that we know of. But let's talk about threats again. Okay, so Ken Paxton directed the Child Protective Services in the entire state of Texas to harass and threaten and stalk anyone that has any transgender person in their family. If you're a transgender parent and you are raising a kid, you will be stalked by Child Protective Services. If you are a parent and you have a transgender kid, doesn't matter how old they are, you'll be stalked by Child Protective Services and they will try to steal your kid. Ken Paxton directed that. Ken Paxton is the architect of that policy. And now he's going to cry about people, oh, I'm being stalked. I'm being stalked. Paxton's office did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Washington Post late Monday. A representative for Paxton's wife, State Senator Angela Paxton, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. All right, let's read this. In the affidavit signed and filed on Monday, process server Ernesto Martin Herrera said that he arrived at Paxton's residence in McKinney around 8:30 a.m., parking on the street in front of the house, seeing the silhouette of a man in the living room. Herrera knocked on the front door, according to the affidavit. A woman answered it, Herrera said, and he explained that he needed to deliver legal documents to Paxton. The woman, who eventually identified herself as Angela, said that Paxton was on the phone and was in a hurry to leave. The affidavit states, Herrera added that he saw a black Chevrolet truck parked in the driveway. He could not immediately be reached for comment Tuesday morning. So let me get this straight. You're afraid for your life. Right? Someone knocks on the door. They say, oh, I need to deliver a legal document? Then you're... Okay, so unless in this guy's mind, like the radical left, the woke mob, is going to go up there with a clipboard and say, here's a subpoena. And then like, underneath the clipboard, they got a gun and then they shoot you in the head. Like, what? What? I don't know, man. Herrera said he went back to his car and waited, per my client's instructions, according to the affidavit. Around 9:20 a.m., he saw a different vehicle, a black Chevrolet Tahoe, drive up to the home and back into the driveway. About 20 minutes later, Herrera saw Paxton walk out of the garage, and he approached Paxton and called him by name. As soon as he saw me and heard me call his name out, he turned around and ran back inside the house through the same door in the garage. Herrera stated in the affidavit, emphasizing the word ran with bold type and an underline. Less than 10 minutes later, Angela, in quotes, emerged from the house and opened one of the truck's rear doors before getting into the driver's seat and starting the vehicle. Herrera said in the affidavit Paxton then ran from his home to the truck. As Herrera called out his name and said he had court documents for him, Herrera claimed, Mr. Paxton ignored me and kept heading for the truck. So Ken Paxton says, the radical woke mob was threatening me. I got scared. Well, don't you live in like a stand your ground state, man? Can you just go get your shotgun and shoot this guy? Hey, why don't you go get your shotgun? Get that kid off my lawn. Instead, he runs away. He has his wife. Little bitch has his wife start the car and he jumps in. And also, he can, unless he's got like fucking noise canceling headphones on, he can hear that it's a subpoena. And he knows he's going to be subpoenaed. Like, this has been in the news. He's aware that a subpoena is in the works. What the fuck? The subpoenas are seeking Paxton's appearance and testimony at a court hearing scheduled for Tuesday morning. As of early Tuesday, the hearing remained in the court's schedule. Jesus fucking Christ, man. These Republicans, holy shit. Republicans, man, they are fucking crazy. Max, what the hell are you doing? He's a couch dog. Goddamn couch dog. Oh. How's it going, y'all? Yeah, that's pretty much my show for today. So we'll be getting into the movie review portion of the program pretty soon here, but that's all I got. Max feels guilty. Look at this, Max. Max! Max! They want to see you, Max. Where are you? Max, they want to see you. Oh. Whoa, he's getting off the couch. Whoa. We got shaky cam here. Look at this. Is like filmographic. Max, you're a dog. Max, you're a dog. Gosh darn pups. Am I right, people? Am I right, people? So, in other news, yesterday I did a Twitch.television stream, and I'm going to turn this into a segment because why not? So yesterday I did a Twitch.television stream. I did a speed run, many different categories of the video game Muppet Race Mania. Muppet Race Mania. And so you know, it's a game. And this is the manual. I have the case over there, but I have the manual out because the manual has the cheat codes in it, and I don't have a save file anymore, so I was using some cheat codes. But anyway, now, a little bit of some lore. I like to provide lore, and I like to talk about video games. So, you know, I started speedrunning video games about 10 years ago. I'm a little bit of I'm a legend, you know. And one of the games that I speedran was Muppet Race Mania. I was the only person to play this game in the speedrun sense at all for many years. And as you may know or may not know, I took a very extended break from speedrunning video games. I mostly just stick to Doom nowadays. But yesterday I decided to play some Muppet Race Mania for the first time in about 4 or 5 years. It's been a long time. Some of my records that are posted on the speedrun.com site, they're not records anymore, but when they were, are about 6 years old. Some of my runs are 7 or 8 years old. And so anyway, needless to say, since I retired, a bunch of children. I'm the adult in the room. They're all my offspring in this sense. I have adopted them into the family of Muppet Race Mania. But they have, there's a lot of people that speedrun this game now. Like, honestly, like way more than I ever imagined would be possible. So, and these people over the last couple of years have found some new tricks and skips. So I want to share some of these with you. Here's some audio from the game. But they've found these new, like, you can just like check this out. Hold up. Like, check this out, okay? So these motherfuckers, right? These motherfuckers are like, all right, you see this game? You see this fucking game? We're gonna blow this game wide open. So this is the level called Mallory Gallery from the hit movie, The Great Muppet Caper. And some of these new kids on the block, as they're called, informed me that you can go through the floor. So check this out. So I learned this yesterday live on stream. And you might be thinking, what's going on here? You're just, and then you just go through the floor. So I don't know what the hell. I don't know who came up with this. I don't know why they came. I don't know how. All I know is that they went through the fucking floor. And so anyway, I'm trying to get back into it. And, so I just wanted to share that a little bit. I haven't done any speedruns of this game in multiple years, like 4 or 5, 6 years. I don't even know. Like, depends on the category. But anyway, so we got a lot of new kids on the block. And, needless to say, these kids are misbehaving. So I got to put my foot down. It is pretty great to see that people are playing this game. When I played this game when I was a kid, no one ever... I've spoken to many people about video games. No one ever heard of it. And the people that did hear of it would slander the game and libel the game and say unfair things about this game. This is one of the best games ever made. If I were to produce a top 10 list of video games, I would show this game on there. It's one of the best. Anyway, so trying to get some records back. So there you go. I'm glad that there's a lot more people playing it. Boom. There you go. Rielan's like the motherfucker that like walks into the movie theater, like watches 20 seconds of the movie and then says, "This movie sucks," and then like storms out of the movie theater. Like you walk in, the movie's been on for like an hour and 10 minutes. You say, "I don't like this." You walk out and then you tell everyone how bad the movie is. That's Rielan. Donald James, I don't think you understand what's going on here. So, hashtag My Gamer Story. I guess that is technically an episode of My Gamer Story. I forgot that was like a sub-segment. Hashtag My Gamer Story. Muppet Race Mania My Gamer Story. There you go. There you go. Boom. Bada boom. And then also boom again. All right, so let's get into the movie review portion of the show. So yesterday, I completed the Ring trilogy. I mean, I don't know if it's a trilogy. Quite honestly, this is a prequel. This is produced. This is Ring Zero, subtitle Birthday. This is a prequel to Ring and Ring 2 that shows the story of a young Sadako, who is the villain from the Ring movies. And it shows her very, scary, abnormal childhood. And this movie, there's like a little bit of time bouncing. Like it goes from the future to, or I guess present day to the past. 69, I guess? Because it's 30 years before Ring, which is 98. So I guess it would be 68. And so, so yeah, it's a prequel. It shows why and how Sadako became, an evil cursed villain. I don't quite know what's going on this poster. This poster is pretty scary. So anyway, this movie, I'm not gonna lie, it's very good. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I might even say that I liked it more than Ring 2, the Japanese Ring 2. I might say that. I'm not sure. The thing about this movie is it kind of, like, the first, like, half, like, really the first 45, 50 minutes is, like, it's really not that scary. It's just kind of like Sadako is like, she joined like a drama club, like an acting club. And she's just trying to like become an actress. So essentially someone dies at the acting club. She got scared to death, similar to how it shows in Ring and Ring 2. But Sadako swears up and down it wasn't her. She didn't do anything. Right, it wasn't her. And so basically what happens is it's revealed that there's two Sadakos. There's the evil and the good Sadako spirits. And the evil spirit is like kept in like a locked room somewhere in like a house from the, with the doctor who's referenced in the videotape. The thing I like about this movie is, I just want to skip to the ending real quick. The ending where they recreate the scenes from the videotape. So, you see again in Ring 1 and 2, you watch the videotape and it's like Sadako is like getting her head bashed in and thrown into a well, right? And then it shows like, up, someone staring down and then the lid closing and then, that's all, like, all that stuff is shown at the end of this movie, and I really enjoyed that. I thought they did a great job recreating those scenes. So back to where I was going before. So it's revealed that there's an evil and a good Sadako spirit, and they're kind of like coexisting in a way, and the good Sadako just wants to be accepted. She just wants to make friends. She just wants to, like, be an actress. She just wants to have a normal life. And the evil Sadako, what she does is kills someone who Sadako's the understudy for. So the lead actress in a part, Sadako's like the understudy. The evil Sadako spirit against an unknowing to the good Sadako spirit's will kills them. Sadako becomes the new lead actress. And then people, they get suspicious. They're like, what the fuck's going on here? What, Sadako would be benefiting from this death. She died in a really peculiar way. They find out because they record audio tapes of the acting practice. They find out that the audio tape is heavily distorted when the other person dies. I believe their name is like Aiko or something. So anyway, a bunch of people get very suspicious of Sadako. During that time, Sadako develops a romantic relationship with someone. And that was my favorite part. I really enjoyed like how the movie progressed. Because like the first, it's like the first like hour, really. I mean, the movie... the 45 minutes, like the hour range, like it starts to get a little heavier, but like, the first hour is just really good. Cause at first I was skeptical, like, is this even a horror movie? But by the time it got to the good parts, it's like, there's a lot of setup and the setup is like, we got to see where it's going, but the payoff is really, really good. It's a great payoff, because, she makes a friend, that friend, someone tries to kill Sadako because they're suspecting her of being a killer. Sadako's confused. She swears up and down she's not a killer. Someone tries to kill her. Then her friend and, soon to be maybe a lover saves her and kills the other guy in self-defense. So Sadako's being assaulted. The, would-be boyfriend comes along, starts fighting with the guy who's assaulting Sadako, and then they, in the fight, end up killing the boss, right? So Sadako did not kill the boss, right? But anyway, so then he did a really horrible job of, like, hiding the body, and then, like, people found the body and decided that Sadako killed the boss, right? Even though that didn't happen. And then it was a literal witch hunt. And this part of the movie was like, I was sad, like, watching this. They did a really good job of, like, showing how an angry mob can just, like, be so violent for no reason. Anyway, so an angry mob chases Sadako. She's running. She eventually gets beaten to death. She gets mobbed in a corner, gets beaten to death with, like, a candlestick. It's brutal. And just watching it, like, you don't see you don't see too much visual violence, but just, like, watching her, like, seeing, like, her, like, fucked up body after they're done beating the fucking shit out of her it's horrifying. I'm not gonna lie, I was sad. I was really upset watching that. And so anyway, so they take her body to, like, the doctor who's supposed to be her father, and she's dead, right? But it's revealed earlier that Sadako's got the ability to heal people. So she can kill people. The evil Sadako can kill people, and so the good Sadako can heal people. Earlier in the movie, she went to a hospital, and someone who was paralyzed and handicapped was able to walk after Sadako's intervention. And so So anyway, so she heals herself. She comes back to life. And then, but eventually the evil Sadako, because she's in a radius or whatever of the evil Sadako and the good Sadako merge. And the good Sadako is trying to tell the boyfriend, like, get the fuck out of here. You don't understand. And then the first thing that happens when the evil Sadako takes over is kills the boyfriend. Like, and it's a brutal scene because the boyfriend is like, I love you, Sadako. And then, like, he immediately dies. And it's really fucked up, right? So, again, the origin story here is kind of like, there's a good Sadako who's, like, just trying to fit in, just trying to be a person, just trying to, like, be in society. And then, like, because of the evil Sadako, they get killed by a witch hunt and a mob. And it results in, the scene where she just, like, goes on it, like, there's a forest area and she just starts killing people and they drop dead. It's great. And that's the thing I like about this movie and just the Ring movies in general is that it's not violent per se, right? Like the violent mob beating the shit out of her, like that's really the most violent part out of any of these movies. It's really, it's like, it's a slasher movie without the slashing, right? Because she's like curses them and they get scared to death. That's like that's the thing going on. And so, she just starts killing them. They drop dead, and then you see their faces, and they're like, right? It's crazy shit. And then, eventually, the scene, like at the end, when she's like walking in on two people, the two remaining survivors, she's walking in on them, and then she does that thing where like her bones are like dislocating and stuff, like, and it's super. It's just the sound, the music, everything. It was. Because, I don't know. I thought this movie was great. I thought this movie was better than Ring 2. Honestly, I'm willing to say that this movie is almost as good as the original Ring. This is a really good movie for a prequel, for the third, fourth, I don't even know, of the franchise. This is a great movie. Like, the ending when she's, like, walking on her tiptoes and she's doing that shit with her shoulders. It's crazy. It was... And then, like, the camera goes back to the forest, and then you hear two gunshots. Now, like, and it's like, oh, so there's two survivors, right? They have a gun, and they, they're attempting, they point it at Sadako, and then it cuts, and then you hear two gunshots, and then it goes back in there, and it turns out that they shot themselves rather than face the curse of Sadako. Which, probably a good decision. So anyway, then the good Sadako takes back over, killed everyone except for the father, it's not the real father, but it's the adopted father who's the doctor who does medical experiments on her. And the doctor is like, oh, it's okay. I'm going to, everything's going to be fine. I'm going to fix all of this. And then, like, she's freaking out. So then he gives her a drug for her to calm down. Turns out it's like, a tranquilizer, right? And she can't move. And then, of course, like I said before, the scene that's in the videotape in Ring 1 and 2, that scene takes place where the doctor throws her in the well, beats her over the head, knocks her in the well, and then she wakes up in the well. Now, again, she has the ability to heal herself. It's shown throughout the movie. She can heal others. She came back to life after being beaten by the mob. And so it's established in Ring 1, it's established in the first Ring movie, that she was alive in the well for 28 years. So, again, Ring 1, 30 years after Ring 0, right? And it's established that she only died 1 or 2 years ago in Ring 1, right? Which means she died 28 years after suffering in the well. Now, again, the Sadako in Ring 1 and 2 is shown to have no fingernails because she's tried to climb her way out of the well with no avail. And, again, it's presumed, my assumption is that she just, like, kills herself and sends her life force to the videotape, the cursed videotape. And so that's the presumption that I have. It's not really laid out, but that's my presumption. But anyway, I thought that this movie was great. I thought that the recreated scenes from Ring 1 and 2, the videotape, I thought that was great. The mother who is in the videotape is not shown too much, but alluded to a little bit with the brushing hair scene. That's shown a little bit with her brushing her hair. And I thought that this movie was great. I really did. I thought that this movie was really, really, really good. I thought if I were to rank the Ring 2, and Ring 0, I would probably say that this movie is a strong contender for being the best. I just think it's really well made. I think Ring 1 has a little bit better. I don't know. I've got that original bias, right? It's hard for me, like, to judge sequels, versus the original, because I always think the original has, but this is a very good movie. I think the horror aspect, it's a slow build up. It's a slow climb. And I think the ending, I think it's brilliant. I thought this movie was excellent. So just throwing that out there. Ring Zero, really fucking good, my opinion. And that takes us through the Ring series for this year. I know that there's other movies in the Ring franchise. There's the American Ring, Ring TWO. Then there's Rings. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I don't know if that's a sequel, if that's a prequel. I don't know. That came out relatively recently. I don't have access to any of them at the moment on any streaming service. So I don't have them. I had Ring 1, 2, and 0 on AMC Plus, so I watched those. That'll pretty much be it. I don't know what movie I'm going to watch tonight. Tonight, I'm going to take a random-ass movie. I'm just going to scroll through all the lists that I've got and just pick one at random. So I'm not going to tell you in advance what I'm going to be watching. But, again, pretty great. I heavily enjoyed this movie. And just the whole trilogy. I think 2 might be the weakest, but 2 is also great. They're all great. So watch Ring 2, watch Ring 0. They're all great. They're great. Okay. So anyway, Spooktacular, folks. Also, once again, this Friday, I'm going to get a booster shot. And also I'm going to be doing a horror stream, a video game stream on twitch.tv. So now again, I am going to be doing daily horror movie, reviews on the Above It All show, and on twitch.tv I will be doing, not daily, but I'm going to be doing very frequent horror game video game streams. I'm sorry, my brain is a little discombobulated. And so that should be interesting. That should be fun. And I'm looking forward to it, and so should you. October is coming up. Again, we're still in the first phase of the Spooktacular. We're in the pre-October phase. I started this halfway through September, and we're going to be getting into October, and things are going to be going up. So there you go, folks. That's Ring 0. So, bada boom. All right, that's the show. That's all I got, and thank you for watching. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, hurry the heck up, because I'm going to shut this off very imminently. Hello, Super Saiyan God Goku. Tell Master Roshi to get here earlier in the show. Maybe then I would take them more seriously. But anyway, I remember enjoying Ring and Ring 2. I don't know anything about this Rings. I don't know anything about that. There should be a Cooking with the Bitch tomorrow. My mission today is to work on it. So there should be another one tomorrow. And so I would definitely say watch American Ring and American Ring 2, TWO. They're very Americanized, right? So like the plot is a little different. Like the themes are kind of the same, but it's very Americanized. And I never seen the Japanese versions, but like just, there's a lot of differences, but the overall theme is the same. And I think the American versions do a good job. So that's my opinion on that. So if anyone has any horror movie recommendations, start sending them my way. I'm going to try to check out some random horror movies at some point. And so, there you go. Nice Scooby-Doo shirt. Thank you. All right. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what bivalent means. Oh, like what's, I've never heard that word before. Because that's the one I'm getting. But, I guess it's Omicron and original or something. I don't know. But there you go. All right. That's it. Bye-bye.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. In a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
I mean, the fossil fuel industry, they weigh in so significantly. I mean, how could it be